Hi, welcome back to another episode of Social Media Manager Confidential. If this is your first episode, a special welcome and shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if this is not your first episode and you're coming back every single week, special shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here and continuing to come back and listen to the podcast every week. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate those of you who DM me on Instagram and just let me know what you love about the show. Those always make my day. I'm really excited to chat with Holly and Casey today. We're talking about their experience as social media managers, just getting started, what their backgrounds were, how they work as a solopreneur. They're the only ones on their team, just the things that they love about it, the things that they don't love, working with local clients versus non-local clients, and just their experience as my mentees in the Social Media Manager Success Incubator program. So let me go ahead and introduce you to them. Social media management is notorious for being high pressure, competitive, and changing literally every day, which is why it isn't surprising that most social media managers get burned out within the first 2 years. So how do you keep going? How do you stay up with the latest updates, protect your mental health, and build a successful social media management business that supports your lifestyle goals? Whether that's working from home with your kiddos or jet setting around the world, that's what this show is all about. Welcome to Social Media Manager Confidential. I'm Shantae Gorman, founder of a 6-figure social media management agency and mentor to social media managers. And I'm here to dish on the ins and outs of the social media management world without any of the gatekeeping that can come along with it. You'll learn, you'll laugh, and you'll leave each episode inspired. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello, I am here with Casey and Holly. They are social media managers that I am really excited to share with you because they are also my past mentees. They've taken my program. And so we're just going to kind of chat with them and see where they currently are, what they're doing, and what they do and don't love about social media management. So Casey started her creative career as a brand photographer, capturing elegant visuals to tell powerful stories through her lens. As social media evolves and became an increasingly important platform for businesses, Casey saw an opportunity to combine her photography skills with her passion for digital marketing. She dove into the world of social media strategy, learning how to create content that not only looks beautiful, but also drives engagement and conversions. Hi, Casey. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show. I'm so excited.
I am excited too. And I love that bio. Very elegant.
Oh, well, thank you.
And we have Holly also. Holly's a freelance social media manager for small businesses. She offers everything from strategy sessions and consulting to full service social media management. Hey, Holly, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. My bio wasn't nearly as fancy as Casey's. I loved yours.
I did get some help from ChatGPT to write it.
Love it.
Not going to take credit for that copywriting genius. I did noodle it, but it was ChatGPT.
Very smart. Okay, so I'm just going to start off with Holly. Can you tell us a little bit more about what your current business setup is like? Like, are you an agency? Do you do it on your own?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a single person business right now. It is just me. I have about 6 full-time social media management clients right now. And then I also, like I said, in my bio, I do strategy sessions, I do consulting, and I also run a program called Steps to Social Success. And those are just kind of one-off things that people can request on a whenever they want basis. So I have my 6 monthly clients that I work with all the time. And then I add in other people who are looking for strategy sessions and that kind of thing.
Awesome. So you have a full offer suite, which is what I love to see. For your monthly clients, are those local clients or are they kind of everywhere?
Yeah, right now, everybody that I am working with is within like 90 minutes of me. So that makes it easy for me because something that's a little bit different for me as a social media manager is I offer content creation in my packages. Not everybody does. So I'm the one who's, going and taking the pictures and creating the reels and all that stuff for my clients. So I like to keep it more local, but I have worked with more distant clients in the past who are in other states and that kind of thing. And if they're able to work with me on creating that content and getting it to me, then I'm also open to working with people across the US and across the world.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that's one of like the huge things of when you're deciding to be a social media manager is, do I want to work local? Do I not want to work local? And then if I do I actually like want to help create content? And then that's a whole something else entirely. So I love that that's something you offer. I know small businesses definitely need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So Casey, how about you? What does your current business setup look like?
It looks similar to Holly's. I have 3 full-time social media clients where I do everything for them. And then I do also offer one-on-one strategy sessions. I call them like the brainstorming type sessions that people can book with me. And then something new that I'm going to be launching is a social media club that I'm calling the Caffeinated Mavens. So giving entrepreneurs the chance to actually have time for their cup of coffee. And this is going to be a once a month mastermind where small business owners who aren't quite at a place where they can afford someone to do all of their social media management, they can join the mastermind to get help.
Very smart.
And then I also offer some content creation as well as photography as well, just kind of an a la carte service.
Awesome. So you have a full offer suite as well, which is amazing. I love the mastermind idea. I'm sure that'll work out very well.
Thank you.
So I want to touch on how you got started in social media management work. So Casey, do you want to your bio kind of told us, but if you want to give us, a not chat GPT bio, if you want to tell us.
Yes, from actual Casey. Yeah. So, as my photography career progressed, I realized, it was really kind of Instagram with the changing of just static posts to reels. People were asking me, they're like, how do I use these brand photos? What if, is this relevant anymore? Do I need to make all of these reels where I'm singing and dancing? And everybody had always commented, they're like, yeah, we love your social media. You're so good at the way that you tell your stories and, like you make us want to engage. And so I just kind of realized I was like, wow, actually, I really enjoy that and enjoy helping people to brainstorm it and work with social media. So it was kind of just a natural progression from brand photography into the social media.
Yeah, you saw a need and you went for it.
Mm-hmm. And on a business side of it, you see a brand photography client, maybe if you have some kind of subscription set up 3 times a year, 3, maybe 4 times a year. Whereas, so your income levels, you're either super rich or you're like, wow, I am so poor right now. At least that's the way my business kind of was. I was like, oh, I'm a baller or no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted more consistent income as well.
Yeah. And I can see how that would be stressful too, of like, doing really well and then like everyone has their photos and then it's going to be a while.
Exactly.
Needing to fill that income to something a little more sustainable would make sense. Holly, how did you get started?
I've kind of always been in the realm of this. I went to college. I went to the Savannah College of Art and Design in Georgia, and I went for advertising. And it was, 2014, 15, 16, where social media was really, really becoming a must-have for huge brands and along with that for small businesses. So in school, we always had to do projects that were, campaigns had to have a social component as well. So it's kind of something that I started doing in school. I liked doing just that particular thing. I wasn't that into traditional advertising. And then when I came back, I moved back to Wisconsin, my hometown, my small little 50,000 people town. I was like, wow, there's a lot of great small local businesses here who have no idea what they're doing when it comes to social media. And a lot of them probably don't have any desire to learn either. So kind of like Casey, I saw it as an opportunity to, I saw a need and I went for it. I launched my LLC in 2019, and it's kind of just grown from there.
I love it. That's amazing. And I also really like how you have a background in marketing, but then you're like, I only like social, so I'm just going to do that, which is the best part about
I don't want to make billboards.
Yeah. Who reads billboards anymore anyway?
Exactly.
And I think it's one of those really great things about like being a business owner or like a freelancer is you get to decide what you do and don't want to do. Like if you only like social or you only like Instagram, you could just do that. Like you don't have to do it all. There are people who do it all, but you don't have to do it all. And so I think that kind of leads us into being a business owner and like what your experience with that is like or like has been like. Holly, do you want to go ahead?
I am like the kind of person, like I said, I just jumped into it. Like I pitched it to my husband and I was like, do you think I can do this? And he was like, yeah. So then I did it.
Yeah.
But like the first couple of years, I was really just trying to figure out what I was doing and who my people were, trying to find the people that really valued what I was doing. And so I love doing the creative part of it. I love, where I'm at now, making all the content and that kind of stuff. But I was really struggling in like the organizational areas and that kind of thing. And that is honestly a really big reason why I took your incubator.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot with that.
Good. Yeah. I found that people who are more creative minded tend to lack in the organizational department. And it's, you're a creative person, things are a little bit messy.
Guilty.
And we kind of need both in order to be like successful and scale. I'm going to slide right in here and interrupt for just a moment to let you know that you are personally invited to join the Sugar Punch community for social media managers. Inside this community, social media managers like you come together to meet and support one another, get answers to burning questions, and build a thriving social media management business. It's 100% free, plus you'll get access to exclusive trainings and resources, be invited to special events, participate in fun challenges, get added to our social media manager directory, and more. Create your free account by going to community.sugarpunchmarketing.com. I'll link it in the show notes for you. See you inside. Now back to today's episode. Casey, how about you? How has it been having a social media management business?
Just like Holly, I jumped into it as well. Luckily, from previous businesses, when I started my photography business, I realized quickly that I was not good at the organization part of it and just getting kind of, like the nuts and bolts behind it. And so that's why I joined the incubator as well, just to have some of those foundational systems in place. And, there were so many things, I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, of course, but then, it was like, I didn't know that I didn't even know when it came to the incubator. So one thing in particular was the pricing calculator that we were given access to because I really had no idea how to price my services. And I was, way undercharging at first. And then you almost get to this point where you kind of feel guilty as a creative, where you're saying, okay, wow, I'm going to charge this much per month for kind of my creative genius in a way. But when you are able to put it into a pricing calculator and make it logical, then you see, okay, I spend this many hours creating a reel or this many hours doing a strategy session. And at my price point right now, I'm making $2 an hour. That is not sustainable. And I'm going to burn out really quick. So the pricing calculator, it was so great because it gave me a place to start and to have the, I guess, like not feel guilty about what the new prices were going to be because it was, I guess, kind of like logically based in a way.
Yeah, it kind of just took the emotion and like, what should I price myself?
Well, the doubt too.
Yeah.
Like you said, Casey, as a creative, it almost feels you get a little bit guilty because you're like, I love doing this stuff and I'm good at it. So I'm going to charge this much for it, but we're worth it. And the calculator definitely was something that I valued a lot in that area too.
Yeah. I think seeing like the hard numbers and just being like, okay, this makes sense. Like I'm not just, throwing a number out of thin air. Like this all matters and it all comes to these different things, I think is also really helpful.
And then also if you get to a point where you need to break down some of those numbers a bit more, or somebody questions you about it, you can say, okay, yeah, here, let me show you. I mean, I don't think I'd want to work with that client because they'd probably be a nightmare, but you have it there just in case.
Yeah, you could use it if you need to.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So that leads us to Holly. What are your favorite and least favorite things about social media management?
Well, I mean, we kind of dipped into this a little bit with, talking about how I like being creative and I don't love being organized. So obviously, one of my biggest things that I love to do for my clients is the content creation and is, working with them one-on-one to kind of tell their stories. Because like I said, I have a lot of local businesses in my, small town that I think deserve like so much more visibility. So being able to help get them a little bit more in front of people is something that I really value and I really love about my job. The content creation is fun, being able to show off, all the different things that they're doing and, get them the views that they deserve. And the difficult things for me, stuff that I don't love doing is this, weekly scheduling, bi-weekly scheduling, however you decide to do it. It helps so much and I have to do it and I know that. But, sitting down and doing it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's tedious, but it comes along with the territory. But other than that, I can't really think of a ton of things that I don't like. I know a lot of other social media managers would probably say like the constant change of the platforms and that kind of thing. But I honestly love that because it keeps things fresh and you have to be able to keep pulling in new types of content. Otherwise, things are going to get stale and people like to be entertained. So I love the constant change. It's a lot to keep up with, that's for sure. But it makes social media better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it challenges your creativity. And that's how you can constantly be coming up with new ideas and like trying different things out. Because if you don't have a challenge, then like your creativity just kind of stagnates and it's there.
Yeah. And you just are kind of, like you said, just at the same level and not, like you said, trying new things and all that kind of stuff.
Casey, how about you? What's your favorite and least favorite thing about being a social media manager?
Again, very similar to Holly's answers, but something that I do hate as well, or I shouldn't say hate, I dislike, is waiting for my clients to approve posts because I want them to just, as soon as I send it, approve it immediately and be like, this is the best work ever, like every single time. Which I know is like so unrealistic, but yeah, kind of that waiting game for the approval, because then you're just automatically think, oh my gosh, they don't like any of them. This is horrible. Just all the little like silly imposter syndrome type things. So I'd say that. And then, the favorite thing is being able to truly help businesses in an area where it's not their strong suit, but it's mine. And so I can help them to grow their business and, make changes in their lives or the lives of others.
Yeah, I love that. So I want to ask you one last question. Holly, we'll start with you. Is there anything you wish someone had told you before you got started?
Kind of like everything that the incubator goes over, to be honest. It was very helpful to me to actually feel that like switch into, okay, I know what I'm doing now. I have these systems in place. And that was really helpful to be able to have those systems in place when I started, 4 years ago would have been awesome. So I think, if someone was like, hey, this is a great idea, but why don't you get some education on it first? Or why don't you start with education instead of like trying to get there? I feel like I would have gotten there so much faster if I would have had that base to start from. Yeah, highly recommend. Everybody just works with you.
Oh, thank you. Glowing review. How about you, Casey? What do you wish someone had told you before you got started?
Well, since I had asked this question at the end of the incubator as well, it's a very popular question, but I'm going to give the answer that you gave. And that is, as soon as you get the inkling that you have a red flag client, fire them.
Yes.
Don't let it draw out and take away your energy because, at the time I had a red flag client and I was able to, it was super scary because I didn't have somebody backed up and, it was a good chunk of change. But I got rid of them and it was just such a relief off of my shoulders of not having to communicate with this company anymore. And just it freed up so much mental space for me where I was able to redefine some things, change my pricing, and attract clients that are more in line with my values and what I offer.
Yeah, I love that. It's like almost like a physical weight is like lifted off of you. The second you're like, done, I'm breaking up with you.
Exactly.
Especially, as a service provider and us, Casey, as like solopreneurs who are doing all of it, you have to find your people. That's huge. Otherwise, you're just going to be miserable.
One other piece I would add to that is always have your contract in place right from the start.
Yes.
Contract and first payment. Do not do anything until you have those.
Yes. That's a lesson a lot of us learned the hard way. I know I did when I first started.
Oh, yeah.
I did too.
Yeah. Something I put in the incubator, don't do this. Don't do what I did.
Yeah. I think we all have to learn it though. Dang it.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, you'll learn in the program and then not do it. But there's also like this won't happen to me kind of thing. Like, in the back of your head. Shantae says this is probably not a great idea, but I want to do it anyway. It's probably going to be fine. And then, unfortunately, sometimes those situations don't turn out so great. And then it's, Shantae was right. I should have listened. So either way, contracts, get them. Lawyer drafted ones, not ones that are Googled, so that they actually protect you and protect your client in the case that you need it. But yeah, I love that. Well, thank you both for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be on this with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Do you want to share your links to socials or like your social accounts if anybody wants to connect with you? Casey, do you want to go first?
Sure. It's Casey, CASEY.POE.creative. And that's me on Instagram.
Correct. And Holly?
And I'm on Instagram too, and it's just at Holly VanAkk, HOLLY VANAKKEREN. And my website is hvasocial.co.
Perfect. And I will link all of that in the show notes so everybody who's listening can just do a quick click over and connect with these ladies. Thank you so much again for being on the show. And it's been nice being able to see your faces again. It's been a little while since we did the programs together, so it's always nice to catch up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shantae.
Thank you.
It's always so much fun reconnecting with mentees. It's like we spend 6 weeks together talking every week for an hour and a half, and then I miss them. I miss being able to see their faces. So this was a nice little reunion. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any friends who are social media managers, share the link to this episode with them and help them out. And if you're not already following the podcast, make sure you hit the follow button or the plus button in Apple Podcasts so you can get brand new episodes delivered straight to your podcast app every Friday. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Learn more about my digital template shop, online courses, and mentorship program by going to my website at sugarpunchmarketing.com. And while you're there, make sure you join my safe, supportive community created exclusively for social media managers. It's 100% free to join and packed with really amazing resources, trainings, and people. See you next time.